Pain doesn't come to destroy you, it comes to develop you. The universe doesn't throw storms your way to see you break. It throws them to see you build. Every challenge you've ever faced wasn't meant to crush your spirit, it was meant to carve it. You don't grow through ease, you grow through endurance. It's in the pressure, in the uncertainty, in the H that your character starts to shape itself. There's a version of you waiting on the other side of that struggle, stronger, sharper, more focused. But that version can't exist without pain pushing you past your limits. Every tear you've cried, every night you've stayed awake questioning your purpose, has been part of your training. Life is sculpting you into something powerful, and that sculpting hurts. When a seed breaks open underground, it looks like destruction. But that destruction is actually the beginning of growth. Pain is your soil cracking open. It's making room for the new version of you to push through. The discomfort you feel isn't punishment. It's progress. Sometimes you'll look up and ask, why now? Why this? And the truth is, it's because you're ready. Life doesn't hand big lessons to small minds. It gives deep pain to those capable of deep transformation. That's you. If you could see the version of yourself that's forming in the middle of your pain, you'd stop doubting the process. You'd start realizing that this is preparation, the groundwork for your next chapter. Pain doesn't ask for your permission because destiny doesn't wait for your comfort. When life presses you, it's not trying to break your bones. It's trying to reveal your backbone. You've got strength in you that only pain can unlock. And the moment you realize that, everything starts to shift. Your pain is not here to punish you. It's here to prepare you for everything you prayed for. Every scar you carry tells a story of survival. It's easy to hide those wounds, to cover them up and pretend they don't exist. But that's not healing, that's hiding. Your wounds are the places where light enters your soul. They are proof that you've been through something and still chose to stand. There's a certain kind of beauty that only comes from brokenness. When you've been hurt deeply, you start to feel more deeply. You love harder, you listen better, you connect stronger. Pain stretches your capacity to feel. And that's where the light sneaks in. You see, the cracks in your heart aren't weaknesses, they're openings. Openings for grace, for wisdom, for compassion to flow through. Without those cracks, light couldn't reach the deepest parts of you that needed it most. Your pain is not just a wound, it's an entry point. We spend so much time trying to appear whole that we forget healing is a process of embracing our fragments. The truth is, your scars make you real. They make you human. They remind others they're not alone. People don't connect to perfection. They connect to truth, and truth always carries scars. Every time you've fallen apart and pieced yourself back together, you've become brighter. The more you've endured, the more radiant your light becomes. The world doesn't need your mask, it needs your truth. And that truth is found in your wounds. Your light won't come from pretending you've never been hurt. It will come from saying, yes, I've been through hell, and I'm still here. That's where your strength shines the brightest. Your wounds are not your weakness. They are where your power begins. Growth isn't supposed to feel good. It's supposed to stretch you, challenge you, strip you of everything that no longer fits. The pain you feel right now isn't random. It's the sound of your old self being torn away. You're shedding the layers of fear, doubt, and insecurity that kept you small. Every time you evolve, something in you has to die. That's the part nobody tells you about growth. You lose people, habits, comfort zones, even parts of your identity. It's messy, it's uncomfortable, and it's confusing. But it's necessary, because you can't step into your future wearing the skin of your past. That burning in your chest, that restlessness, that discomfort, it's not a sign that something's wrong with you. It's a sign that you're outgrowing your current chapter. You're being called to rise, to expand, to move beyond what's safe and familiar. Growth never happens in comfort. Sometimes you'll try to hold on to the old just to feel stable, but you can't heal in the same environment that hurt you. You can't carry yesterday's energy into tomorrow's vision. Pain is your signal that it's time to let go. You might feel like everything's falling apart, but in reality, everything's falling into place. The storm is rearranging your life for alignment. It's making room for what's meant for you, even if it means removing what isn't. The pain of growth isn't punishment, it's purification. You're being refined, redefined, and reborn into a stronger version of yourself. It hurts because you're changing. And change never comes cheap. The version of you that's being born through this pain will thank you for not giving up. Pain has a way of silencing the noise. It forces you to stop pretending, stop rushing, and actually face yourself. When you're hurting, there's no escaping the truth. Pain demands that you sit still and listen, not to the world, but to your soul. It's easy to drift through life on autopilot when everything feels fine. But when pain enters, it pulls you right into the now. It strips away illusions and distractions, leaving you raw, real, and aware. That's where transformation begins in presence. In your darkest moments, you learn who you truly are, not who you pretend to be for others, not who you hope to become, but who you are when the lights go out. Pain shows you your core. It brings you face to face with your strength and your weakness, your faith and your fear. We don't like pain because it's honest. It doesn't let you fake confidence or control. It humbles you. It slows you down. But in that stillness, clarity rises. You start to see what matters and what never did. When everything feels like it's crumbling, you start to notice the smallest blessings. A deep breath, a sunrise, a friend who listens. Pain reconnects you to life in its simplest, purest form. It reawakens your gratitude. Pain doesn't just hurt, it teaches. It teaches patience, humility, and self-awareness. It's the universe's way of saying, wake up, pay attention, you're alive. And that realization alone can shift everything. So instead of running from your pain, lean into it, feel it fully. Because the only way out is through. Every time something doesn't go your way, it's easy to think life's against you. But what if that closed door wasn't rejection, it was protection? What if the thing that didn't work out was never meant to? Every setback is setting you up for something greater. You might not see it now, but one day you'll look back and realize why things had to fall apart the way they did. That relationship that ended, that job you lost, that opportunity that slipped away, it wasn't the end, it was redirection. You were being guided, not abandoned. Life doesn't move backward. When it takes something away, it's only because it's clearing space for something new. But in the middle of it, it feels like a loss. That's where faith comes in. Faith isn't believing everything will go your way. It's trusting that even when it doesn't, it's still working in your favor. Sometimes your plans fail because they were too small. Sometimes people leave because they can't go where you're going. Sometimes the universe shakes you not to hurt you, but to wake you. What feels like a breakdown is often a breakthrough disguised as chaos. The truth is, if everything always worked out, you'd never grow. You'd never stretch your faith. You'd never find your resilience. You'd never learn to rise. Setbacks build strength that success never could. Your story isn't over when things go wrong. That's when it really begins. Because it's in the rebuilding that your true power is revealed. It's in the ashes that purpose starts to rise. So the next time life throws you off course, remember, it's not rejection, it's redirection. You're being rerouted toward your destiny. Pain has a job to do. It's trying to tell you something. But too often we silence it. We distract ourselves with noise business or fake smiles, anything to avoid feeling it. The truth is, when you numb your pain, you also numb your potential. You can't selectively shut off emotions. If you close the door on sadness, you close it on joy too. We live in a world addicted to comfort, quick fixes, instant escapes, endless distractions. But healing doesn't live there. Healing lives in the uncomfortable spaces. It lives in those quiet moments where you face your truth without filters or excuses. It lives in the tears you don't want to cry but need to. Feeling your pain doesn't make you weak. It makes you honest. It makes you human. It's how you reclaim your power. Because once you face what hurts, it loses its grip on you. The wound can't control you once you've decided to walk through it instead of around it. Sometimes healing feels like falling apart, and that's okay. You're not breaking, you're unraveling what no longer belongs to you. The only way to get to the other side of your pain is to walk straight through its fire. And that fire, though it burns, purifies you. Don't let the world rush your process. Everyone wants to skip the part where it hurts, but that's where the gold is. That's where your empathy grows. That's where your soul expands. The things that almost destroyed you will one day become your strength story. Feel it all. The anger, the sadness, the confusion, the fear. Sit with it long enough to hear what it's trying to teach you. Emotions aren't your enemy. They're your compass, pointing you toward what needs healing. When you choose to feel instead of flee, you give your pain permission to transform into purpose. That's when real freedom begins. Every pain carries a message, a whisper from your soul that something inside you needs attention. Sometimes it's not about what happened to you, but about what's being awakened within you. Pain is never random. It's a messenger that refuses to be ignored. When life starts to hurt, it's not always punishment. It's communication. It's your heart saying, something has to change. It's your spirit saying, you've been living small. It's your destiny calling you to rise higher. The discomfort is there to guide you, not defeat you. Think back to your hardest moments. Didn't they always reveal something? Maybe a hidden strength, a forgotten dream, a truth you'd buried. Pain strips away illusions until all that's left is authenticity. It's not trying to destroy you. It's trying to direct you. The message in your pain might be, stop chasing people who don't see you. Or start believing in your worth. Or it's time to move. Every ache carries information about who you are and where you're meant to go next. But most people drown out the message. They try to fix the pain instead of listening to it. You can't silence what's meant to wake you. Once you start asking, what is this pain trying to teach me? Everything begins to shift. The same moment that felt like destruction turns into revelation. Your pain is a conversation between your higher self and your current self. It's a push toward purpose, a call to evolve, a reminder that you're alive and capable of more. Listen, don't rush past it. Don't label it as bad. The lesson buried in your pain might just be the key to your next chapter. You've been through things that could have broken you, but they didn't. That's not luck. That's power. You've survived every heartbreak, every disappointment, every moment that made you question your worth. And here you are, still breathing, still standing, still rising. It's funny how we underestimate our own strength. We look at others and call them brave, while forgetting that we too have carried invisible battles with silent courage. You've endured storms that nobody saw. You've smiled through pain that nobody understood. And that kind of strength, that's sacred. Every time you thought you couldn't go on, and still did, that was resilience. Every time you showed up, even when your soul was tired, that was courage. You've proven to yourself, again and again, that you're built for this life. The human spirit is unbreakable. It bends, it trembles, it bleeds, but it doesn't quit. Pain has tried to destroy you, but all it did was reveal how unstoppable you truly are. You've faced darkness and still found light. You've lost people and still found love. You've failed and still found the will to try again. You don't have to wait to feel powerful. You already are. Strength doesn't mean you don't cry. It means you cry and keep going anyway. It means you fall and rise again with wisdom instead of bitterness. So stop questioning your ability to handle what's ahead. You've already proven you can survive what's behind. The pain didn't come to show your weakness. It came to prove your strength. You are living proof that resilience is real. And that's a force no pain can erase. Pain is raw energy, and energy can be transformed. You can let it destroy you, or you can channel it into something beautiful. That's your choice, to turn your pain into power. Every heartbreak, every failure, every betrayal carries creative potential waiting to be redirected into purpose. When you stop fighting your pain and start shaping it, it becomes art. It becomes a book, a song, a business, a message, a movement. Some of the world's greatest creations were born from the darkest nights. The most powerful people didn't avoid pain, they used it. Don't waste your suffering. Let it fuel your fire. Let it give you vision. Let it remind you of what you stand for. There's power in saying, what hurt me will help someone else heal. That's how pain becomes purpose. Your story can light the way for someone still lost in theirs. Your scars can be someone else's survival guide. The strength you built in silence can be someone's hope in chaos. That's how transformation begins. When pain stops being personal and starts being purposeful. It's not about erasing what happened. It's about redefining it, turning, why did this happen to me, into, what is this trying to build in me? That shift alone can change your entire life. When you use your pain as fuel, it stops being your weakness and becomes your weapon. It's what gives your voice power, your art authenticity, your message meaning. Everything you've been through can be your power source if you decide it will be. You are not a mistake. You are not forgotten. Every moment of pain, every setback, every tear has been shaping you for something meaningful. You weren't meant to just survive. You were meant to serve, to shine, to awaken something in others through your story. That pain you carry has a mission. It's molding you into the person capable of carrying light into dark places. You think your pain was random, but it was actually refinement. Every wound has been preparing you to help someone else rise. When you start to see your pain as preparation, everything changes. You stop asking, why me? And start realizing, because I'm built for this. You were chosen to walk through certain fires because you have the strength to turn them into wisdom. One day, the very thing that broke you will be the thing that empowers someone else. You'll tell your story, and someone will see hope again. You'll speak your truth, and someone will find their courage. That's the cycle of purpose, pain transformed into power that heals others. You might not see it now, but your life is being written in divine rhythm. Every loss, every trial, every lonely night is part of a design you'll one day understand. Your pain has always been pointing you toward your purpose. Keep walking, keep believing, keep trusting that none of it is wasted. The fire that tried to burn you down is actually what's giving you your light. Your pain has a purpose, and that purpose is to reveal who you really are.